A few days into the new year, I started working on a space simulator. I've been wanting to do this for a long time and now seemed like a good moment to get it off the ground. Currently you're able to toggle the vehicle's thrust and the engine nozzle can rotate to provide thrust vector control. There are not yet any reaction wheels, cold gas thrusters or any other ways to provide attitude control except the main engine, but that's all you need to achieve a stable orbit. To be able to see whether you've actually reached orbit, a trajectory prediction is constantly being calculated and displayed on screen. Since this game will have proper end-body gravitation, we're doing physics integration instead of patch-conic approximation. Realistic gravity though leads to some interesting trajectories, as you can see right now. The long-term goal of this game is to allow the player to automate their space program by letting them write their own control software to read values from sensors, do calculations, and activate thrusters and other flight hardware. You don't have to do that of course, as you'll also be able to just grab a rocket and explore. To stay up to date with the development of the game, subscribe to the channel and follow me, TSJost, on Twitter. If you're interested, let's also take a look at the progress made day by day from the start. The first step was getting something drawn on screen and make it fly away against gravity. Like mentioned before, the rocket has thrust vectoring so we can control its orientation. This is easier said than done though. But it is possible to land. Remaining upright on the other hand. But it's much easier when you've got actual landing legs to land on. When the basic rocket controls and moving around was implemented, it was time to start working on getting an actual planet to fly around on. A whole bunch of points are procedurally generated to represent the surface of the planet, which then gets turned into an actual triangle mesh. After calculating the planet mesh and drawing it on screen, I stuck it into the physics engine to make the rocket collide with the surface. To make the planet look like a planet, some time was spent generating colors for each vertex and blending it all together with the grayscale height map. With one sun, only one side of the planet is going to be lit at any one point in time, so we need to implement some shading. First, let's calculate normal vectors for each vertex to know which direction they're facing. Then simply do some linear algebra and poof, you've got Blindfong shading. And finally, as you've already seen, I implemented some simple trajectory prediction. Although I'm going to have to figure out proper sizes and distances of the planets to make it possible to remain in orbit of the small planet for more than a handful laps around it. And that's all the progress for now. Make sure to subscribe and follow me on Twitter to stay updated.